Today, I'm going to be giving you a closer look at this levitating picture frame. Okay, so as you can see, there are no strings attached here. This is levitating by a magnetic field that is keeping that up. So I'm going to show you all the details about this, how to use it, and how to get your picture to levitate using that magnetic field. Okay, so here's your product box. As you can see, it's just a floating photo frame. So rather than being your standard boring photo frame, it's doing something a little bit different. So you've got this C-shaped design here. You can see that this is lit up. So you need to have this plugged in your wall. It's lit up and it uses a magnetic force field. So it is a little touchy when you're moving it. Sometimes it'll make it just cling up there because it's a really strong magnet that it wants to grip onto, but it will levitate, and you can rotate it a little bit by touching it with your finger. Sometimes when I try to rotate it like that, it will clip back up. So you can make it sit still, you can make it spin around. It's kind of cool, right? And it's easy to use. There is kind of a trick to getting it, and it just really takes time to get it just in that right spot so that you're levitating. It took me a few minutes to figure it out. But yeah, so let's give you a closer look at this. Okay, so first of all, in order to use this, you need to have it on a level, flat level surface. Okay, so a table, whatever. Sometimes if you're too close, it says in the manual that if you're too close to other electronics like computers and stuff like that, it might get in the way of the magnetic force field because it is a magnet that is causing this to levitate like this. With my shirt in the way, it kind of looks like it's attached. So you might have to be careful with placement. I haven't had any trouble with other things interfering with its ability to levitate, but just kind of be selective in the places that you choose to put it. Okay, so let me pull this out of here, show you this plug. Okay, so you can see this whole panel right here lights up in this C shape. You've got a strong magnet up here. You've got this cord that you plug in right here at the base of the C, and this goes into the wall. There is a red indicator light right here that comes on when you plug it in. Obviously, you need to have this plugged in order to activate that, otherwise it won't hang at all. Now, on the top of your picture frame, there's a little sticker that says top to let you know where the magnet is. You can figure it out pretty quick that that's not going to stick there without that sticker, but it's nice to have. When you first pull it out, you can figure it out really without touching the instructions. So for the picture frame itself, this covering here, all it is a thin piece of plastic, and then you've got these 4 magnets on here, and then this is kind of just, you know, like a thin cardboard piece of paper right here. So you just cut out your picture. You can use this as your tracing tool to cut out your picture, put it on here, and then snap that into place. I haven't put a picture in here yet. Okay, put it on there, and then you put that on. Okay, so it's not glass, it's just lightweight plastic here, and as you can see, it snaps on. You kind of have to use this top part here where it's open to pry that off, but it clicks on and holds securely into place. Okay, so if you bring this over right away, you can have it just sitting directly on there, and then you can spin it around, move it. You can't turn it this way. Obviously, it doesn't fit in the first place, but the magnetic field, you have to go with the top right there. Okay, so you've got it there. You want to move it down like 1/4 of an inch or something to get it to levitate. Here's the trick there. So let me pull this off. That's a really strong magnet. So you have to get it in a place where the magnetic field is holding it, but not that it's too close that it's going to suck it up. Okay, so if I put it right here, right, and let go, it's just going to pull it up. Okay, so you have to find just that right spot. Okay, so I'm going to hold mine right here. Okay, now I can feel a pull on it. And you can see the pull on it. Now I can let go. Okay, so let me show you that again. Okay, so you can start from the top and pull your way down. I like to start from the bottom so I can feel just where that pull is. See how it's pulling on there? Okay, now I'm going to let go. So you can physically feel it and see it jump up when that pull starts to grab it, and then you just leave it in that spot there. Now I can rotate this with my finger. And it is definitely floating and suspending. So this thing works. Okay, so it works. As far as the picture frame goes, you know, it's just little pieces of plastic. It's nothing too special or heavy duty. You couldn't have heavy glass, I don't think, to get it to hang and rotate this way. So there's nothing too special there. Mine's got some smudges on the plastic that I can rub off pretty easily. So you just put your little pictures in there. You can do 2 pictures on here at once and then put it on here. And it just takes a couple minutes, a little bit of practice to find that right spot that you can grab. Okay, you don't want to go too close because it'll just pull it right up, right? So I start from the bottom. Do you see that? Okay, let me pull that off right here. Right there. And you can kind of hear a little noise that is like pulling it up. So it's all about feel, and you can visibly see it. There's that little pull. Now I'll let go. Okay, so that's how to get it to levitate. It definitely works, and it's not too hard to do it. It took me a little bit of practice, like I said, but it's kind of cool. And if you've got it in just the right spot, you can rotate it and do different things like that. So this is kind of a cool little picture frame. Now, it is one that you have to have plugged in, so you've got to have it on a spot that is plugged in. This would be a cool one for your desk at work. You can use this in various places as long as you've got an outlet nearby. It would be kind of awesome if it was like a rechargeable battery or something, so you could feel free to move it out around without needing to have it plugged in. But that's just, I love rechargeable batteries, so I would always opt for that rather than needing to plug something in. But it's kind of a cool little piece. So if you've got a bookshelf or like an entryway table or something that's nearby an outlet, this would be perfect to put that up there. You can put in 2 pictures and everything is just magnetic. There are no strings attached, and this picture frame is actually levitating and rotating. So that's the good news for me, is that it works. On the outside, it is, you know, pretty much plastic. See, if I bump it too much, see how it'll cling up there? So how do I pull that down? There's a little pull. Whoop. There's the pull, and I'll let it go. Okay, so it is a little bit touchy. So when you move it around, I can touch this, and sometimes it'll clip up like that. But sometimes I'm able to spin it pretty well. Okay. It's all about kind of like the angle that you hit it. But if you move this around too much, or it's in an area that it gets jostled a lot, then that will probably click up there. It won't fall off, but it will be sucked up to the top and stop levitating. So that's one thing to keep in mind there. So it's kind of lightweight materials and things like that. But it looks nice. This doesn't need to be like made out of metal or something in order to get a nice look. It's got a nice finished plastic look to it, and it's got the lights in the middle, which, you know, I could take or leave that. I could be fine with that if that was just plain without these multicolored lights, or I would prefer to have like white lights going through this strip. But they are multicolored. If you can't see that, there's blue, red, green, and blue. So for me, I like things to be more plain and simple, like just white lights. So that's what I would prefer with this frame. There's not a color option, so they just happen to be the multicolored thing there. So I would like it better for home decor display if it didn't have there. I like the black sleek design, how it's black and white, and I would like to keep it plain without having those multiple colors in there. So that's how I would change the product. But does it work? Yeah, it does. So if you're looking for something cool like this, where you've got a little light display here, which from a distance and on my video, you can't really see the multiple lights. If you get up close, you can see that they're all different colors in there. But it's kind of cool. Your kids will probably like this and be impressed by it. So it would be cool to have in your kids' room so they can kind of play with it a little bit. They can't really touch it and play with it too much, or it'll click up there. I thought it would, but it didn't that time. So usually if you bump it like from the bottom, it'll clip up just like that. But yeah, does this work? It sure does. And it's kind of cool. So there's your closer look at this levitating picture frame.